What is going on, guys? Fitcho here, and welcome back to my MotoGP 17 career mode. Today we're here for episode number 4 and round 3 of the Moto3 World Championship at the Circuit of the Americas in Texas, USA. Let's go. So here we are in America at the Circuit of the Americas for the third round of the Moto3 season. Now this is actually a track heading into the race that I actually know the layout of. The previous two, like, I sort of know where they go, but I don't know them very well. I know COTA very, very well thanks to Formula 1. I've done so many laps around here in an F1 car, but as for on a motorcycle, not a single one. I'm not too sure how I'm going to ride this circuit. I need to sort of learn that, but as for which corner's coming up next, that I already know. So here we are on track at the Circuit of the Americas for this 40-minute qualifying session as we head down through the final corner, power out of the corner. We're about to start our first flying lap here in qualifying, and as you can see, it is a very short run to the start-finish line here at COTA, and that could be very important in tomorrow's Grand Prix. Is now up towards turn number 1, a very difficult uphill braking zone for a very slow hairpin. As now we plummet back down the hill. I'm going to flick the bike to the right through turn number 2, and if you get the line right, that corner can be flat, but you need to be careful that you don't run too wide and compromise your run into the S's, and this, in my opinion, is by far the hardest part of this circuit. The quick changes of direction are really, really difficult on a motorbike. A lot different to a Formula 1 car. Those corners are absolutely awesome in F1. You can just flick the car left and right and it responds instantly, but it's not the same on a motorcycle, and it makes it very, very difficult as we actually go fastest through the first split. As we get that corner a little bit wrong, is now down the hill. This bit is quite tricky because the bike just gets a little bit light on you, and if you can lose the rear end and lead to a crash. Is now up towards a hairpin. Now this hairpin is very, very important. You want to get the best exit you possibly can off there, and we don't get the best exit. We got slightly onto the exit curb, and that unsettled the bike a little bit because this is the very long back straight here in COTA. And along with turn 1, this next corner are the main two overtaking opportunities at this track. As now hard on the brakes, all the way back down the gearbox to first gear for this very tight left hand, almost a hairpin there, and that, like I said, is a great overtaking opportunity. And now up to this tight right hand, hold it tight and then keep holding it tight as it keeps coming back on itself for a second apex to that corner. In fact, it's technically two corners. Now we have another sort of double apex corner, and this one really tightens up in the second half and is fast through the first half. As now through this long sort of quad apex, well, not quad apex, sort of triple apex corner, possibly even quad, as we head through this long right hander. It's really tricky on a bike, just controlling the throttle so you don't run it a bit too wide. As now through the penultimate corner, we've run it way too wide over the AstroTurf, in fact, and now up to the final corner. So far we've put together a fairly scrappy lap, but we have been fastest through all three sectors. As now up towards the start-finish line, we go fastest with a 2:20.343. Out of the final corner, we've gone fastest through all three sectors, and we set a 2:18.294, almost 2 seconds quicker right there. That was a really good lap. We didn't have any sort of tow, but other than that, I hooked up pretty much every single corner perfectly there on that lap, and without some sort of massive tow, I don't think anyone is going to get anywhere near that, and that's where I'm going to end today's qualifying. So we are back in the pits now. We are sitting on a 2:18.2, and the next quickest is Joan Mir on a 2:19.7. We are 1.5 seconds clear at the front right now, and I don't think there is any need to go back on track. We're going to skip through the rest of this session. Is anyone going to go any faster than Mir in second place? No. No one has gone faster at all, and we have set a 2:18.2 and taken pole by just under a second and a half here at the Circuit of the Americas. That is absolutely crazy. Getting pole position by a second and a half, like, that is insane. But joining us on the front row of the grid is Joan Mir and Romano Finardi. Then you got Jorge Martin, Aaron Canet, and Nicolo Bulliger on the second row, with Fabio Di Gianantonio, John McPhee, and Andrea Migno on the third row. So here we are at the Circuit of the Americas for race day, and the conditions look nice and clear. 32 degrees and sunny for today's Grand Prix.
So the race is about to begin, and the riders know that all the hard work they put in won't mean a thing if they can't cross the finish line in one of the positions that counts.
Here we are. It is race time here in the Lone Star State. We get the bike into first. The revs rise. The lights come on. And it's lights out, and away we go. The Grand Prix of the Americas is underway here at the Circuit of the Americas. We get a decent start from pole position, but we've already got Johan Mir looking up our inside as we head down to the first corner, and there goes Mir on the Leopard. So does Finardi. Aaron Canet also getting in there as someone has jumped up into the lead. I think that is Nicolo Bulliger as we are going back around the outside of Finardi through turn number 2, and we're back into third place, and there goes Mino up our inside as we head into the S's. We have not had a good run through the S's. We compromised our run there, just getting the turn in a little bit wrong, but can we sneak up the inside of Mino? No, we can't quite make that stick, as now Finardi is sneaking up our inside into the left-hander, back around his inside, and now we have the inside line, and we can just park it on the apex as he still tries to push us through there. We close the door as the track flicks back to the left in our favor there. And we're now sitting in 4th place as things start to settle down a little bit, but that won't be for long as we head down to this hairpin. And once we power out of here, we are onto the very long back straight, and we know how overpowered the slipstream is here in Moto3 as we get in the slipstream of Mino directly in front of us, as we have Finardi, I think it is, Jorge Martin now in the slipstream as we head down towards the hairpin at the end of this straight, and we're not going to be close enough to challenge the top 3, but hopefully we can catch up to this pack and not let them break away. And Mino has slipped up into the lead, and the leader, Bulliger, has dropped all the way back to 3rd place in this little battle pack ahead, and this is allowing us to catch up as we weren't really challenged down at the end of the straight. And now this looks like it's a 4-way fight for the lead. Can we sneak up the inside of Bulliger? We think about it there, but we can't make that stick. Out of the final corner, and Bulliger has got a good exit, and he slipped past Aaron Canet as we are now in the slipstream of Canet as we start lap number 2 here at COTA and up towards the first corner. A very tricky braking zone. Can we sneak up the inside of the first 2 bikes? We try. We're up the inside of Mino as Bulliger takes the lead here in COTA, trying to get a good run through turn number 2. We're not going to be close enough to challenge Bulliger down into the S's, but a good run through the S's. Ignore that little corner cars. I got the turn in a little bit wrong. In fact, it's hindered us a little bit as the rest of the S section was a little bit stuffed up as we got the line slightly wrong, but we're up into 2nd place, and now we have Bulliger in our sights here on lap number 2. Oh, we've got a little bit there, out there on that exit curb, and it really unsettled the bike and lost us a whole heap of momentum. Are we going to get challenged down into this hairpin? Yes, we are. I think that's Aaron Canet and Mino sneaking up our inside. We switch back on Canet as he runs it a little bit deeper. He's in the slipstream of Mino. We get the better run, and we get back past Canet as we drop down to 3rd place as we are now on the back of Mino in his slipstream down this very, very long back straight. We're starting to gain on him. Can we try something on the brakes down at the end of the straight? No, we can't, as he's thinking about it on his teammate Bulliger, but he thinks better of that move. Here we go, starting lap number 3, and Mino is going for the move on his teammate as we head up towards turn number 1. We're going to go wide on the entrance, try to cut back on these 2 on the exit, take a nice cut back line, and this should open up turn number 2, and actually it doesn't work as well as we thought. We're going to slip up the inside of Mino. We can't quite make that stick. We took a little bit too much curb there, and we're just going to have to be patient here behind the 2 teammates. Can we slip up Mino's inside? He's run a little bit wide, but he's now going to have the inside line for this left-hander. We're going to cut back up his inside. A cheeky move up into 2nd place there. Bulliger has had a poor exit off that left-hander. Can we sneak up his inside through that fast left? Yes, we can. And we are up into the lead of this Grand Prix. We now head down to this hairpin, and here goes Bulliger back up our inside, and Mino tries to follow him as he tries to get across and slam the door shut, but we couldn't quite do it. But he can't get that move done as now onto the back straight. It probably wasn't a bad thing that Bulliger got back past us immediately, as we have the slipstream and slip back into the lead of this Grand Prix. Oh, here he comes on the brakes down into the left-hander, and his teammate Mino is trying to follow him through, and he does so successfully, and we're back down to 3rd place here as we're just going to stay right on the back of the 2 Sky. VR46 Academy riders as we head through these tricky few corners. Can we sneak up the inside of Mino here? No, there's nothing doing there. It's now just patient. We get a little bit wide. Hopefully that hasn't hurt us too much, which it hasn't. Now onto this very tricky, very long right hand as we try to sneak up the inside of Mino. Yes, up the inside of Mino, possibly Bulliger. Not quite up the inside of Bulliger, but up into second place as we now head down into the penultimate corner around the outside. We can't make that work. We got hung out to dry a little bit as Mino slips back up our inside into second place. And we've got the final corner all wrong there. We got that all wrong, but went in a little bit too deep as we now start lap number 4. Bulliger is leading as Mino is now going for the move as we head up towards turn number 1. As we just want to be patient here onto the brakes for the first corner. If these two are battling, we should be able to get back into this fight. Hold it tight to the apex. Hold it tight on the X's. Mino has a little look over his shoulder. Cut it back through turn number 2, and we missed a gear there, and that's going to hurt us. We had the run there, I thought, to try to go for the move, but I just missed the gear, and that will have really hurt us as now we're stuffing up the S section. We need to recompose ourselves and catch back up to the 2. Right on the back of Mino, around the outside of Mino, through that fast left-hander and around the outside of Bulliger. A great run there, and we slipstream up into the lead of this Grand Prix, but Bulliger comes straight back down our inside, and Mino follows him through, and immediately we're relegated back down to 3rd place, but in the slipstream of Bulliger, now pulling alongside Mino. We get the move done. Back into 2nd place now in the slipstream of Bulliger. We pull to his inside down the long back straight and back into the lead of this Grand Prix. But that is not going to last for very long as we jump onto the brakes for this tight left-hander. We run it a little bit too deep. Bulliger and Mino both slip up. Our inside Mino now takes the lead of this Grand Prix as Bulliger couldn't quite get the move on us done. But now he forces the issue up the inside of that right-hander and up into 2nd place. Can we sneak up the inside of Bulliger? Yes, we can through this fast right-hander. Can we sneak up the inside of his teammate Mino? Yes, we can. And we slingshot up into the lead of this Grand Prix. And right now, we just want to try to break away. We know from qualifying that we have the pace to break away from the field. We're the one bike here that can do it, but these two are staying right behind us. We just can't get in the lead for long enough. Oh, Bulliger's down. He snuck up our insides. I was going for a bit of a cutback line on Mino, and he pushed in, and I should have probably picked up the bike there. And I say that was possibly my fault, as now it's only a two-way fight between me and Mino for the win here at COTA. Can we sneak up the inside of Mino? An aggressive move there. We're going to run it a little bit deep. He can't get back at us as we get the line for the next left-hander. We are now into the lead, but the back straight is coming up very, very soon. I don't think we're going to be able to break away far enough from Mino to nullify the effect of that slipstream and give ourselves the chance to break away in the lead of this race. And there he goes, just straight up the inside on the brakes. That's the one area where I'm really not strong. I just don't have the confidence on the brakes. I am running joint brakes. Maybe that's the problem. Maybe I need to learn to use the split brake so you can control the front and the rear independently, and that may help us, but I'm not too sure really what the best strategy is when you do that, so I haven't tried it yet. As we get back past Mino, but he comes back up our inside down into the left-hander on the brakes at the end of the long straight. Up the inside of Mino, down into the final corner, a little late on the brakes, and he cuts back under us as we run it in too deep as we now start lap number 6 of 9 here at the Circuit of the Americas, and we slipstream back past Mino into the lead of this Grand Prix. As now we jump onto the brakes for turn number 1. We're a little bit wide. He's going to sneak back up our inside. He runs wide. We sneak back to the inside, but he just cuts across us now through turn number 2. Can I force the issue up the inside? We're going to be side by side as we head into the S section. We're going to go later on the brakes. No, we're not. Side by side through this S section is not going to work, and we back out of it there as we want to fight for another day. Is now around the outside of Mino, a very aggressive move. And it looks like we've pulled that off back into the lead of this Grand Prix here in the Lone Star State. We're heading down the back straight, and I'm breaking the slipstream from Mino. He's not following in it, and I think we might just have a little bit of a gap now. He's not going to challenge us down into this left-hander. This could be our chance to break away at the front of the field. We know we have the pace to do it. We just need to hope that he can't get back within slipstream range. around the final corner, and we're about to start lap number 7, the third last lap of this Grand Prix. And what is the gap out to? It's over a second now. We've got the gap that we need, and now we just need to really put our head down and extend that. He is out of effective slipstream range as we head down towards turn number 1. This is our opportunity to break away at the front of the field. Out of the final corner, up towards the line, we're about to start the penultimate lap here at the Circuit of the Americas, and the gap is now 1.3 seconds, so about the same as the last lap. He is not gaining on us, and that is what is important. Great run through the S's. The gap is now 1.8 something. The gap is now out to 2.4 seconds. This has been a lightning lap so far. We have one more lap to go after this one. Here we go, we are about to start the final lap here at the Circuit of the Americas, and the gap is out to 2.9 seconds. That was a lightning lap right there, and we have really pulled out the margin. We should be safe, assuming we don't make any catastrophic mistakes on this final lap. Only half a lap to go here in America, and the gap is down to 3.7 seconds now to Mino in second. We only have one more corner to go here as we brake for the final corner, tip the bike in, get back on the power, pop a wheelie as we get up towards the line. Nope, we're not going to pop a wheelie, we're going too fast, but nonetheless, we win the Grand Prix of the Americas here at the Circuit of the Americas in our first ever career victory here. In only our third Moto3 race, we won by 2.8 seconds there in the end over Andrea Migno, with Aaron Canet on the final spot on the podium, and importantly, Joan Mir all the way down in 6th place. Between him and ourselves, we had Jorge Martin and Enea Bastianini in 4th and 5th. So Mir down in 6th will definitely help our championship. We picked up the 25 points, and Mir has definitely lost a few points to us. But if you look a little bit lower, just running through the order, we've got Bulliger in 7th. After his crash with us, he recovered quite well, to be honest, to finish in 7th place. And then you got John McPhee in 8th, Romano Finardi in 9th, and our teammate Niccolo Antonelli rounding out the top 10. Now, I just want to have a quick look at the best lap column. I set a 2:17.277. The next fastest lap in the race that I can see at least was a 2:18.3 by Aaron Canet, over a second slower, for God's sake, and mine was without slipstream as well. That is absolutely crazy. Mino's best lap, who finished in 2nd place, was a 2:18.5, 1.3 seconds slower than our best lap. That just shows how rapid we were here at the Circuit of the Americas. So in the championship, we have jumped back up into 2nd place, only 6 points back off Joan Mir now, who continues to lead the championship. Aaron Canet is now up into 3rd place, with Niccolo Bulliger in 4th, and Andrea Migno jumping up into 5th place. In the constructors' standings, Honda continue to lead, but KTM have closed the margin to only 5 points now. Mahindra and Peugeot are still yet to score any points. So here we are in Parc Ferme, celebrating our first ever career win in Moto3. Oh god, that was a good race. We just absolutely dominated. We were able to pull away from the front, and we had the pace all weekend, and we were able to convert that into our first ever victory. So for that race, we have earned a total of 15,800 reputation, and that brings our total up to 58,522. Correction, the reputation we just earned in that race hadn't actually been added to our total. So our total now is actually 74,322, but that is going to do it for today, guys. Up next, we tackle the Grand Prix of Spain at Jerez for round 4 of the Moto3 World Championship, and that should be a good race. I really do like the Jerez circuit, so I am looking forward to that. But that is going to do it for today, guys. I hope you guys have enjoyed this video. If you have, make sure to smash that like button. If you are new to the channel, make sure you do subscribe. Thank you guys so much for watching. I've been Fitcho, and I'll see you all next time.